Hey guys, this is Aiden, and welcome to another Star Wars theory. Where this one is gonna be very interesting. I feel like it'll be more interesting than the last one about who is Anakin's father, because this one completely flips the entire prequel trilogy, and that's what makes it super interesting. Sure, the stories weren't great at sometimes, but some of the lore is really good for the prequel trilogy. So for this episode, I'm going to talk about something which a lot of people would disagree with. The fact that the Jedi Order are evil. You might be asking, what? How are the Jedi Order evil? And the answer is simple. Because think about it this way. So you know about all these Jedi who are leaving the council. And Anakin eventually betrays it. So we have Count Dooku, aka Tyrannus. I think Sifo-Dyas left. I'm not sure though. It's hard to tell because he might have left with Count Dooku. Because they weren't friends before I think Dooku killed him. But we don't know exactly. So there's also some other Jedi who left. But over time, the Jedi became evil. I'd say. Reason why it's not just because Jedi are leaving. It's because think about the Jedi Order's policies. If you remember, the reason why Dooku left the Jedi Council is because they refused to help his home planet of Serena. They did the exact same thing to Naboo in the Phantom Menace too. It's wondering how. It's strange how they didn't do that. And then later, you just see them all standing there like they did something. And we should be remembered for this. When they did completely absolutely nothing. Which is pretty angry. Which pretty much makes some people angry because people died whilst they just sat back on their comfortable chairs in the Jedi Council. And it seems like they're not as independent and allied with the Republic, but it seems like they start serving the Republic because whenever the Republic tells them not to do something, or the Republic doesn't do something, the Jedi Order just seem to follow. And that's why, and Qui-Gon Jinn, even though he was part of the Jedi Order, I guess, isn't one of the evil Jedi, because he knows, he's like one of the true Jedi, because he understands the flaws of the Council, but is still a Jedi. And the Sith are still Sith. But they might actually be the good guys, actually, if you think about it. Even though I'm saying all of this, I still think that some of the Sith messages and what they do is a bit harsh. It's kind of like the wrong thing for the right reason kind of thing. But it still doesn't mean that it's not too harsh and too much. And I think they should be doing what they did, and it's completely justified. Just an FYI, in case you get confused by that. And then in Attack of the Clones, you see that a lot of planets are leaving the Republic because there could be either two reasons. So one could be because they refuse to help other planets in need. Like also for another example, in the Clone Wars, Padme's uncle, who happens to be a Rodian, I don't know. Apparently, I think it's Uncle Honor actually, but his planet of Rhodia got attacked by the Separatists, and they decided not to help. So it doesn't seem like the Republic are that helpful. So that's why people started leaving and making their own nation, called the Separatists, which are called Separatists, and the Confederacy of Independent Systems. So when they start leaving, that's when the Clone Wars begins, because people are leaving and making their own nation. That's why the Republic attacked this Confederacy of Independent Systems, and they're making an army because they knew that the Republic would react like this, and that's why they attacked them. That's why they made their droid army. And don't forget, the Republic drew the first blood, because I would consider and then the Federation joined, a lot of other planets joined because they knew the flaw. So it could either be because they knew the Sith Lord and they were afraid they would kill. Dooku said that he knew that Palpatine was the Sith Lord in Attack of the Clones, But he might not have known that, because he might not have known that the person he's working for was also Palpatine. Palpatine was playing both sides of the war, leading the Separatists and the Republic, and caused them both to crash and him rise to the top. That's how he survived. That's how he made the Empire. And this is some really interesting stuff. But so we have the Republic who doesn't help people, and the Jedi Order decide not to help people either, and instead attack. And then also in the Clone Wars, Satine gets upset with the Jedi Council because they became generals, which is true. They were supposed to be peacekeepers, but then became war generals, and they're just okay with it. It also seems like the Jedi Council don't have any say in what happens in the Senate. And even Master Winnie says the Senate will decide your fate, not the Jedi Council, which is interesting that he would say that. And of course I remember that because it's a prequel meme. Seriously. So I'm not sure if Dooku left because the Jedi Council was corrupt. Well, that's probably why he left, but I'm not sure. He could have left because the council was corrupt, or because Darth Sidious was controlling both sides. I'm not sure. I feel like it was too early, and the Chancellor hasn't really risen to power yet. And he's still sitting there. So, what do you guys think? Do you think that the Jedi Council is evil? I'm pretty sure. This is what I'm thinking from the prequels. Because they seem like they just do whatever the Senate says. Also, don't seem to be very helpful. They seem to help some planets, but not others. And they turned down Anakin for absolutely no reason. And Yoda's the Grand Master, but is Mace Windu one of the leaders too? It seems like he says something and then everyone just is like, oh, okay. Like he's some sort of leader or something. Because when he rejected Anakin to be the rank of Master, but allowed on the Council, that did make sense. But I'm not sure. Also, if you remember, I know I say a lot, but in the Clone Wars, Barriss boycotts because she finds the flaws of the Jedi and blows it up. I'd say this a little bit extreme because not everyone's a Jedi there, but she blew up the Jedi wholeheartedly, and killed people. And then there was also so then she did that, and then she tried to cover it up, but of course it's spoiled. So she only did this stuff because she found the flaws of the Jedi, which actually makes sense. And maybe if the Council realized the flaws of themselves, they might have been able to find out what Darth Sidious was doing before. But I consider Qui-Gon Jinn the true Jedi because he wasn't loyal to the Council, but was still a Jedi. And that's why he wasn't a part of it. Because seems like the Jedi don't do really anything and have no freedom. It does not seem like what you think. And it's just because like what Obi-Wan said, from a certain point of view, the Jedi are good, but really they're evil. So that's what I'm thinking here. Well, this is really interesting. But some other Jedi, like Han Krell, are just evil. He just wants to join the Sith. He just did that because he did that. That doesn't really seem like he was one of the actual. Here's some of the. If you think about it, from all this evidence, the Republic aren't actually the good guys like you think. They're actually the bad guys. And if you really paid attention, like I did, you would notice that the prequels kind of mirror the Civil War. So in the Phantom Menace, in Attack of the Clones, the Confederacy of Independent Citizens try leaving the Republic, just like the just like the South, try leaving the North, and then after that, the North attacked the South and tried to and won the battle. Same thing happened to the Republic, but the same thing happened to the Republic. So they were in control, and then the Confederacy is this independent system strategy, and then the war happened. And I guess they almost win. Then Palpatine executes Order 66, which ends the war, and then terminates all the droids or the Confederacy systems. And then America becomes the United States of America. And so then we have the United States of America and the Star Wars version will be the Galactic Empire. That's a really cool detail which I have to point out. But thank you so much for watching this theory video, and I hope that you learned something about the prequels. And when you watch the prequels again, they're not as bad as you think. Especially when you have movies like The Last Jedi. Well, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.